Hey guys, welcome to the long-awaited Season 2. As always, with me, Jordan, and my father, Mark Ritchie, we've got some new bits on the show today that we're very excited to talk about. But first, Dad, is it true that you've been staying up very late on YouTube watching lions attack gazelles?
Can I just say, we go into a lot of planning for this. Yeah, we do. We go into a lot of planning and it still sounds like this. We do loads of planning and Jordan has not mentioned that he would bring this up. But yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. I have got into watching lions killing gazelle on YouTube. And honestly,
Can we talk about how weird that is? Are we gonna talk about how weird that is, or is that just one thing that we're gonna push aside today?
Well, there is one great YouTube clip though where the gazelle gets its revenge, and about 4 of them kick the lion's head in, which is pretty good.
Was this at 3 a.m. or was it pushing on to 4?
I'm not like watching them in weird hours. I just like the old lion chasing a gazelle kind of clip.
Right, okay. Sounds amazing. What a way to kick off Season 2.
Season 2. Come on. Well, listen, I wanted to kind of kick us off by saying, is there ever been a time when you have got into something massively late, like miles behind everybody else?
I'd like to say I'm quite a cutting edge person. I'm a trendsetter, not a trend follower. So.
Oh yes, that's. I mean, even
I actually can't believe that's just been recorded.
Even as those words came out your mouth, I felt slightly ill. I had a bit of sick in my mouth as you said them. But no, because I'll tell you why. We have got into, your mum and me, I've got into Luther.
Oh yeah, no, it's good, isn't it? It's really good.
Ooh, it's terrifying. It is. No.
Like it's scary. Like I'm not saying it's not scary. Like there are parts where it's a bit like, oh wow, this is dark. But it's not that bad.
Well,
I don't think. I think it's bad, but it's not that bad.
I think that's probably because of the horrendous things that you normally watch. And like Luther is like a bit of light relief. But for me, Luther. Though the other day, right, I was going out travelling to Norwich to do a bit of a show in Norwich.
Why did it? It's like a thing that you do. I've noticed that you do this actually, and I'm pulling you up right now.
What's that?
You roll your R's more so when you're doing this podcast. It's almost like you need to show people that you're Scottish. Like
that is absolutely rubbish. See what I did there?
Just be secure in your nationality. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I am. And when Scotland beat England at the rugby, yeah. Ooh.
It's not going to happen. But we'll move on.
Well, it's bound to happen at some point. So this will make this podcast relevant. No, what I was going to say is that the other day I was driving to Norwich. I had to go and do a show down there.
Okay.
And so we watched a quick Luther just before I left.
Just a quick one.
Yeah.
Just a quick 45 minutes.
And in that particular episode, there's a man under the bed. It is pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
And and then I obviously was getting up, leaving your mum on her own. So she was a bit nervous. And she was like saying, I said, well, listen, Tam, it's fine. What you need to do tonight is sleep under the bed. Because if you do that...
that's going to make it all better, isn't it?
Well, there's no chance of anyone sleeping under your bed if you're actually sleeping under there. So I feel like that was great advice. But no, my point being, because I'll tell you why. We are just finished season 1.
Yeah, I was going to say the whole... no spoilers, but the whole thing under the bed, that was very early on.
Yeah. And I mean, I think what I'm trying to say is that most people are on season 5.
Yeah.
And like, so we're like, people saying, oh, did you see Luther the other night? When we start talking about it, we realise we're in very different worlds. But I also was a little bit late to the whole texting thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean... What were you doing? Like, before, so obviously you're like, I didn't get into texting. Well, obviously you're a bit older than me because I've kind of been around. Texting's always been a thing since I've been young. For you, obviously, it has been something that has progressively come in. But what were you doing before then? Were you like writing letters and stuff or sending things by pigeons?
No, smoke. We're using smoke signals.
Smoke signals.
I mean, I know I'm old, but it's the ageism that gets me. You just... chipping away at the fact.
What's the one that you like type it? Not
Teletubbies.
Not not teletext. But it was like that, and it would come up like
Oh,
mailer.
a pager.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you have one
I
of
did
them?
have a pager. That does make me feel like 129 years old.
Ah, you're a couple
There's
of
a
years
whole
off,
generation of people just right now going, oh, do you remember pagers?
and there's a whole generation right now going, don't even know what that is.
Nope.
Siri, what's a pager?
I would like to say, though, is that I got into texting a bit late.
Okay.
But I've noticed, I mean, because part of the fun of this whole podcast is the fact that I see things from a view. I like to think I'm mature, experienced, wise. I feel that's what I bring to the podcast.
And I feel like this podcast is me just teaching you how to live life in the 21st century.
Horrendously true. I don't bring any wisdom. You actually help me, and that's sickening. As a dad, my son is teaching me about life. But I've noticed that like quite a lot of young people do not like speaking on the phone. Like,
See, yeah, no, I do get what you mean, because a lot of my mates will be a bit like, oh, I don't really talk on the phone. But for me personally, I'm on the phone quite often. Is it like for me as a personal thing? I'm always, if I'm going out anywhere, I'll just give someone a ring.
yeah, but I've chatted to some young guys, 17, 18, and they're like, oh, no, you don't talk. Texting, you just text all the time.
You Snapchat.
Yeah, well, I don't think they said that, but it's a bizarre thing. I mean, phones, that is they've actually become the very thing that they were made for. That's the one thing that people don't want to do on them, innit?
But I must admit, though, there are certain places that you do not want to be having a phone conversation. So like on a train or something, if it's very busy, that is the last time you want them having a bit of a giggle with your mates on the phone. It's annoying people, and you know it is.
I know.
A lot of the time, I kind of just go, I don't care, and I'm going to do it.
Do you?
But you do feel judged. You do just feel
I don't like it.
people staring at you.
I don't like it. I don't like speaking on the phone. Even though, like, it's not, I mean, I'm not in a secret service or anything. I've not got anything really to hide.
Oh, no, we're all fully aware that you wouldn't get it past round one. Do you know what I mean? You're going for an interview, you failed.
That's a job I'll never get. But no, I think it's just, I don't like people listening in. I literally don't like, you can see people raise an eyebrow. And I'm like,
I mean,
I'll put my dirty cups wherever I want, mate. Do you know what I'm saying?
I must admit, probably our phone conversations probably aren't the most appropriate for just randomly down.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I just, I mean, this whole podcast has probably proven that probably not the best idea for us to be talking aloud. Really.
That's a piece of advice for our life. Whatever you do, don't say anything that comes into your head out loud. Yeah. But listen, we've got a new section for season 2.
I'm so excited. We've got a couple, and I'm excited about this one. Oh, I'm just excited. Sorry, guys.
So it's Like Father, Like Son, season 2, episode 1. I mean, just that has made me feel very happy that we made it into season 2.
Yeah. People wanted this, Dad.
I know. I mean, we're.
I actually got hate mail for not having season. No, that's a lie. That is such a lie.
I feel like people were getting over it.
Yeah. People, it's coming out soon. Yeah, cool. If you want to release another series, on you go.
I don't think there's anyone literally sitting by their podcast machine hoping. It's just that
You've
word,
just said podcast machine.
Well, what is it then? Come on.
Well, speaking of that, we're now on Spotify.
Come on.
Nice little
you
plug
can
there.
Get us there. Well
you
done.
can get,
so
iTunes and all that.
Our new section, I'm excited about this.
Okay,
it's called Scraping the Barrel. That's more like barrel. Scraping the barrel.
Scraping the barrel.
So how this has come about?
Season 3, we'll get jingles. We'll do it properly.
We'll get jingles. That sounds like shingles. Season 3, we'll get shingles. It's going to happen. Basically, Scraping the Barrel came out of I meet a lot of people at different situations with my work, different things, where you meet them, you sort of have quite a few normal conversation, quite like, football, bits and pieces. And then you've been talking for quite a while, and then it starts to scrape the barrel.
Yeah, it's those kind of awkward conversations where you've had, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. Da 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 da. You kind of get past all that nice stuff, and then it's a little bit like, well, we're kind of sitting talking to each other now,
And we've got nothing to say.
there's not a lot going.
Yeah, there's nothing left to say.
Yeah.
It happens if you're in the car with someone you don't really know.
The
You know what I mean?
worst.
Oh, and you're like, literally, like, you've been in the car, you've done all this. Exactly. It always starts like that. So I'm going to do one for you, and you've got to speak for a minute. So I'm going to do a scrape in the barrel, and then you're going to do one for me. But so my one, scraping the barrel. So I want to do it in my voice. Can I do it in my voice? I've got a voice for this.
Okay,
I've
sure.
I've got a special voice for it.
So no, I don't. You sound a bit like that. What's the green thing from the Muppets?
A frog?
Yeah, but the frog, what's it?
Kermit.
Yeah.
Get with it, mate. Get down with the kids.
Oh, sorry, I'm not from the 90s. I actually am. That didn't make sense.
So here it is, right? So, Jordan, what's your favourite cereal?
Why? Why? It's the voice. You've mainly got me with the voice. My favourite cereal, to be honest with you, I'm not too sure because I'm one of those people that I need to mix it up.
Oh.
If there's two...
half a cornflakes and half a Rice Krispies?
Well, yeah, that could happen.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. This has gone into another league of... Why?
Because I find things like I need to have a lot of different flavors. Like I get a bit bored with like if you just have the one same flavor the entire time. I almost don't finish it because I get bored of the flavor.
Oh man.
Do you ever get that?
Yeah.
So if you're eating cornflakes and you're just eating cornflakes, do you never get to a point where you're like, I'm just bored of eating cornflakes now. I want something else. I want some Cocoa Pops. I want some porridge, bit of toast.
You've never had porridge in your life?
Yeah, I have. I make it all the time.
With salt?
No, sugar.
As a Scotsman, I am weeping. Yeah. So what your favourite cereal is basically a mixture of...
Yeah, so I'm a little bit of one of those guys that I like to kind of... Bit of Cookie Crunch in there.
Cookie Crunch?
Yeah, you
What
never
the
had
heck
Cookie
is
Crunch.
that?
Or Crave. Crave's good. Crave is very good. Obviously, as we need to say, other brands are very much out there.
I really don't think any massive cereal product's going to come after us.
Cheerios are going to be like, oh, we honestly didn't care that you hadn't said our name.
They were actually hoping and praying that we didn't say the name.
No. Don't bother. Honestly, it's all right.
It's fine. Wow.
But yeah, I'm one of those people that like, well, I'm saying cereal, it's a breakfast thing, and breakfast and cereals, it's all need to be mixed up. It's all got to be different.
Oh man,
Otherwise,
Weetabix, do you do Weetabix?
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's a lot of sugar on there, and then it's like even smash a couple of Cocoa Pops on top. Why not? Let's get those flavors going.
I've never heard anyone say, let's get those flavours going about Weetabix, the most boring flavour in the world.
Legit, that's what I'm trying to say to you all, is that it gets boring after a while, guys.
I reckon
Mix and match.
Here's a bit of advice for cereal makers. Let us just eat the box, because the box would taste better with milk and sugar than your product does.
Have you ever like opened a cereal, like pack it up, and then like left it for like a week and then gone to eat it, and it's obviously like kind of gone stale?
Yeah.
It really does just taste like the cardboard box. And you're a bit like, this is grim. This is
not good.
This is a low point.
Well, our problem with scraping the barrel is I've given you like a really bland, boring subject, and I hate to say this, but yeah, I've actually made it sound quite interesting.
This is the whole point, guys.
Okay,
I beat
right.
the system.
Right.
So my one for you is quite a simple one, and I'm not going to do a weird voice. I just thought I'd like the fact of this. So, what's the longest queue you've ever stood in then? Just that really awkward,
I just love it because I just know I've been in situations where somebody would ask that. So, what's the longest queue that you've ever stood in? Oh, that is great.
I'm gonna help you out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
It's probably got something to do with Alton Towers.
Yeah, I have done the long wait for the flipping rides. That is
to then get. Oh, you've got a story, and I'm just.
Oh, I never knew we were going to tell this.
Go on, it's your story.
I am not great with rides. I am not great.
To be fair, neither have I. I've got many a story where I've just got off and been sick. But
so basically,
this one's embarrassing you. So
this is embarrassing for me. When I was still trying to like impress your mum, she wasn't your mum at that stage. She was like my girlfriend. I was still trying to impress her. Okay. And we went to Alton Towers and I met her friends from London for the first time. Yeah. So I felt a bit, because they were quite trendy, quite posh, quite cool. Yeah. And I am none of those things. And so I was like kind of trying to impress them a bit. And we were in line for this, like, I can't even remember what it's called, something like the Black Hole or something like that.
Was it called Oblivion?
No, it was like a really like dark, it's like a real dark one where like, well, there are no lights and basically you just kind of like do the horrendous thing where you think you're in a cupboard but you're moving quite fast. And so that's a great name for Alton Towers. If you're looking for a name, call it that. In a cupboard, but you're going quite fast. I like that.
That's what it says on the thing.
Exactly. But we queued up for like hours, literally hours, and it was horrendous. And we were like, oh, yeah. And then we just got really close to it, and there's just this door that just says last exit before ride. And I just bolted. I just went right through it and out and away. Literally leaving Tamsin.
Did you not even turn around and say anything?
No, I was terrified. I just got terrified. I thought, I do not want to do this, and I'm scared. I'm going. And I just went. And honestly, Tamsin she's just there with her two friends, and they were going, oh, where's Mark going? And
as they've seen you fully sprint out of the exit sign.
Is Mark okay? I'm just like, oh, yeah, just sometimes it gets a bit... I mean, just really like...
She's had to do the whole thing where she's had to make an excuse for you.
Yeah. He gets a bit claustrophobic.
Oh, leave him, man.
Yeah, he's fine. So, no. Hey, I like it. And next one, I'm going to have scraping the barrel. I'm going to think of I'm going to try and think of something where you just cannot be interested about it. I'm going to try and find
out. Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more of a struggle than you think, son.
Grow up. But we've got another section. What? This is just exciting. If the listeners are not on the edge of the seats, I am.
That's because it's a pretty awful seat that I'm giving you. So yeah, the next one is we're calling it Random Review. Again, we're going to come up with some sort of jingle at some point. Maybe that's season 6. But yeah, so what we wanted to do in this one was to give like another bit of a section to talk about just literally just random things and just give them a bit of a review. Literally just from hand sanitizers to films. I want to have the range. I just want to have the most random things.
We're gonna review. I think we might review a pencil sharpener. I'd really like that. It's just the two of us.
Yeah, no.
So, what do you think of that?
That one works.
That's a good one.
That one's not as good.
That sharpened the pencil just fine.
So yeah, the first one we were going with. So obviously we were trying to create this new concept, and I actually cooked. Shock to everyone, as I actually cooked a meal just before Dad came in today. And I decided to cook something that I'd never really heard of. And obviously, well, let's be honest, he'd never even considered hearing of it. And I cooked something called a jackfruit. Now, it's basically, let's be brutally honest, it's pulled pork, but vegetarian. It is just a pineapple, but slightly meatier and less sweet. And I was just a little bit like, what did you actually think of it? Like, I know this is a bit of a weird time to have this conversation on a podcast.
Yes.
But
so we are reviewing jackfruit, and can I just say,
as people are switching off right now, we're reviewing jackfruit.
That click that you can hear is another 20 listeners that have just decided that their life means more to them than listening to you and me review jackfruit. But I am going for it, and I want to tell you, I'm not a fan. I am. What did you think?
See, I didn't mind it. There was a little bit. It was a bit weird. It was pulled pork, but it was like pulled pork that was. it just wasn't nice pulled pork. You weren't like, oh my days, this is
Yeah, but I don't
amazing.
even like its name. Jackfruit. Grow up. Grow up. I mean, call pineapple, I get that. Orange, apple. That's the name of fruits. Don't call yourself jackfruit. It sounds like it's trying to be a bit of a Jack the Lad. Do you know what
I
I'm saying?
really, really hope that there is a properly good explanation for why it's called a jackfruit.
There is, isn't there?
There's gonna be some scientific.
Story.
Oh yeah, well, my dad called Jack. His dying wish was to have a fruit named after him.
So
And-
they called it jackfruit after some random man dying. Great.
Who knows?
I want to say that can I give it a mark out of 10? Because
I was gonna say with all these random reviews, I'd quite like weirdly enough with my mates when we've had something or something, I'd always go out of 10 like that, and I'm just saying out of 10.
So it was like pulled pork, but it wasn't.
I've said out of 10. I've not. I've asked for a number there. Not asked for
the number's
words.
coming, but I need to tell you why.
So out of 10.
Out of 10, it's like pulled pork, but it's not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like
It's vegetarian though. It's good for us.
Good for us.
Had it in a burger. Lovely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give it 3 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
If I never have jackfruit again, do you know what I'm saying? I don't think they're going to be opening a jackfruit restaurant anytime soon.
Well, yeah, but in this, again, treading ridiculously lightly in the whole conversation, but with all these vegan and all that kind of places, restaurants coming up, it might be the new thing. And this might be in one of your, do you remember when you said that season 2, episode 1? You're not allowed back on now because
you're
the
offended.
vegans sort of
Because you're offended all the
attacked you.
jackfruit lovers
Enthusiasts.
out there.
I'm actually going to give it a 7. I thought it was all right. It was pretty decent. Like,
Is
I
that
didn't
'cause
mind
you
it.
cooked it and you're actually just up in your own cooking?
I'm going to be honest. I cooked up a storm in that kitchen, and I'm proud.
Did, yeah. You cooked up a storm and it tasted like the aftermath of a storm. It was like...
And I've given it a 3 out of 10. That was random review. What we'd also like you guys to do as well is that if you have genuinely got some random things that you want us to review or even just talk about, obviously please make them good. But yeah, please obviously, get in contact with us, obviously on the Instagram or whatever. And we will review them as well. Like, obviously we'll come up with our own, but if you guys are sitting at home going, honestly, there's a seriously good, and I'm stalling because I'm trying to think of something weird, seriously good
If
air
you
freshener.
are air freshener,
that
if
they
you're
need to
sitting
review.
at home right now thinking of things that we could review, I want to review your life. And it's a 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing with your life right now?
Hey, he
You're just
does
sitting
not
there.
mean that. Please, no, honestly, please, give us your feedback. We need all the help we can get.
Netflix shows, maybe like documentaries, TV films, like anything. Like you said,
It literally can be anything. It can be food. It can be
fizzy
whatever.
water, sparkling
I think
water.
I'd quite like to do one of the fizzy waters, whether it's
Yeah.
like because the Tesco's and the Sainsbury's ones do taste quite different.
Oh,
but this is a
lovely.
different episode, guys. This is
Hey,
coming
I
up.
love
Hey.
it. I love it.
So we also wanted to, again, moving on to our next section, we also wanted to kind of keep the sports section, but we wanted to, and again, I can feel a lot of people going, oh, should I click off? We don't want you to do that. We wanted to make it a lot different, and we wanted to kind of include everyone in it a bit more, because that was kind of the feedback we were kind of getting from it. Do you know what I mean? So we wanted to call it the sports section that's not really a sports section. Just to, because
like
we
that
were,
name.
as we were saying, running out of ideas quite rapidly. But to kind of give it a bit of a sporting feel, but not too much, is that quite recently, Man U obviously had Jose Mourinho as their manager. He got sacked because they were doing really bad, as you do in football. You sack your manager. They got, I'm going to really go for this, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Great
And I've
pronunciation.
nailed it.
Very good.
He's come in and he's literally won 10 games out of 10. Like he's they're literally amazing team right now, which is very strange. And we kind of were thinking about that, and we were very sort of like, have you ever been just like really rubbish at something and then made a very subtle or slight change to it, and then you've got really good at it. And you came up with a bit of an interesting one.
Yeah, this is a little bit embarrassing, but I'm going to go there anyway. I mean, this whole podcast for me is a little bit embarrassing, I'll be honest with you. I mean, but I had a little bit of a revival. I was rubbish at something. I made a little change, and I suddenly became absolutely brilliant at it.
Okay.
And it was Tenpin Bowling.
Of all the things that you want that to happen to you, that major key thing in your life, it's just not Tenpin Bowling, is it?
That's not the one. No, so I was extremely average at Tenpin Bowling. Yeah. Some good, some bad, a lot of bad. And I just suddenly had this genius idea to use the heaviest ball that you can get. And I went for it. And honestly, I was like striking out. It was unbelievable. I went from being very mediocre at this thing to like absolutely brilliant. It's like...
That has got to be the most random thing. But there are, going on from this as well, there are
but I have to say,
sports.
I will come to that, but I was going to say, despite being brilliant at it, I really did get good at it. I'm still not wanting to buy the shoes. Like, those guys.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the shoes, genuinely, it really angers me that you've got to change your shoes. Like, why am I wanting some shoes that every single person has worn under the sun?
You don't
and then they throw in your quite expensive, nice shoes into some little, it's basically like being at school and it's like PE. And you've got to wear like...
So funny that because you've always been like this. Even when you were a little kid, you did not like handing your shoes over and being given
I'm going to be honest. When I was younger, obviously it was a bit like, oh yeah. It was always this weird thing to try and get away with wearing your shoes and bowling. Oh yeah, no, I've actually got mine on. Yeah, I don't even need any. And it would be like, hey, got my shoes on.
They looked very different to everybody else's.
Well, but that's what I'm saying as well, is that no matter what outfit you wear, those shoes look ridiculous.
Yeah.
You look like a bit of a clown.
Yeah.
It's like you're in a circus and they've given me, hey, let's make them all look stupid.
And last thing on Tenpin Bowling, I did meet a guy called Tony who, for his Christmas, got Tenpin Bowling gloves.
Oh,
I mean,
Tony, come on.
Come on, Tony. If you're getting 10-pin bowling
I just want to
gloves,
throw this out right now. We're not doing a random review on bowling gloves. I'm just throwing that out there. That is
I'll tell you, this is what I'll say. If you're getting 10-pin bowling gloves for Christmas, I'll tell you what you're not getting for Christmas. Any contact with the opposite sex. I mean, that is like, you are never meeting
or
a
your
lady.
parents. Oh, bit dark.
You're like not meeting anyone. You're not meeting other people.
No.
Hey, you've got no life. You know they're out there. They're out there. They go. No. There are people that go bowling at like Friday night, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. They're bowling with their own gloves, and they bring the shoes in a special bag.
No, I'm fully aware that might be a thing. I just love it to feel that someone's listening to this podcast,
just
going
burning the shoes
on the way to Tenpin Bowling. Go, well, that's hurt, lads. That's really hurt. Turning us down in their car.
just about to go bowling with their own special gloves, and they're like just sticking them back into the glove compartment. I think I'll leave it tonight.
Cinema. Have you noticed that Tenpin Bowlings are right next to cinemas? It's just a thing, isn't it? It's weird.
But is it that?
And Laser Quest.
You've not got a girl to go to the cinema with, so you may as well just buy some special gloves and go bowling on your own.
It's like Michael Jackson made gloves look quite cool, and you've made them look really uncool.
Is it a more lonely place than Tenpin Bowling on a Friday night at 2 a.m.? I don't think there is. I really don't think there is many more lonely. Just that thought of just like, anyone want to go bowling?
Yeah.
Bowling!
We're going to, again...
I've got my own gloves!
Season 2, we are going to work on his voices. They are getting a bit weird. But
Hey, I've got my own gloves!
Right.
Oh.
So... I was going to say another thing as well, is that there are actually 3 sports that you are stupidly, like, weirdly good at. and they're all kind of weird in their own little way. Now, obviously, the first one is Tenpin Bowling.
To be fair, though, I have gone back to being quite rubbish at that.
Oh, was that just a phase?
It was a phase. I did go
You
really
peaked.
well. I peaked, and then I'm back.
You went, you got to championship level, and then you
then
nah,
just
I'm
straight
not having
back
this.
down again.
Oh, what? It's a bit lonely. Not having that. But that's that's already quite weird, and we've spoken about that already. The other one is that you're really, really weirdly good at like water skiing, and it's not the reason why I find that quite weird is I just when do you ever go water skiing? Like we're in Nottingham, and literally to the sea, it's like at 2 hours preferably, like. And you're just.
I'm not a fish. I don't like die on land. It's like, but I am good at. I am like.
Yeah, I just remember going on holiday and you just didn't fall off once, and you were just like, yeah. And then Mum was like, "Oh, he's really good. He's really good." And I was just like,
I have to say, I am proud. I am a bit proud of being good at water skiing. I feel because I.
Oh no, it's a lot cooler than Tenpin Bowling. Like, it is quite cool. It's one of the I'd never even really heard of it, and then the next thing you are literally getting off this boat and doing it pretty well. So it was like fair enough.
No, I'm good. I can do it on one. I sound like the guy with the special gloves for the bowling now, but I can do it on one ski.
See, that's relatively impressive.
And I can do it holding one hand, waving to people. I mean, I get a little bit. I get a little bit.
I've got dolphins just coming up
what
next
are the
to
dolphins?
me.
Yes, just jumping, just calling out my name. It's an amazing moment.
And then the other one, which is just, well, see for yourselves, he's really good at ice skating.
Oh, I'm embarrassed. I am.
Again, my sister's birthday, she wants to go. Everyone, she's about 8 years old. I'm like 11. I'm like, oh. And next thing you know, my dad's skating around with my sister and her friends, just like taking them round. And everyone's like, "Oh, he's pretty good." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, that's my dad."
I have to say, I am embarrassed at that.
Oh no, I was embarrassed. I don't know how you felt.
No, I don't like being good at it. I sometimes fall over just so people don't think, "Oh, look at him, look at him."
But it's like proper weird because, like, again, no offense to these people, but the people that do go ice skating, they're just all a bit odd.
I don't want to be good at it. It's like one of those things that I'm not that bothered.
It's like they're going back. You're going backwards at points.
No,
you're doing those little lemons.
I wish I
and
couldn't
stuff.
do it. I wish I couldn't do it. It's like a thing that I think, why have I got that gift? If I could have any gifts, that is not one that I want.
Yeah,
I don't want to be gifted at this.
It's not exactly a cash cow, is it? It's not exactly. You're not coming home with a bit of money in your pocket after.
I've not got
skating around some 14-year-olds.
I've not got my own skates. I've not been skating for a lot. I went skating that time because my daughter wanted to go.
You don't no, but the weird thing about you is like you don't go at all. But then the couple of times, like literally once at Christmas, like maybe every other year, that like Mum goes, "Oh, let's all go ice skating." You're on there, absolutely buzzing around, and it's just like me and my sister are just falling over at any opportunity. You know when you know those people that are just holding on to the side, and it gets to a point where it's like, this isn't fun. I'm literally clinging on for my dear life so that I don't get absolutely drenched by falling over.
And meanwhile, there's me, Nobby Nobster, going round. Look what I can do, kids.
Literally, it's doing the little pliés and stuff. It's really weird.
I don't do that. That is good.
So there's another part of Like Father, Like Son that we had to keep in from season 1. And that is the very famous, the very special dad quote. Now, a lot of people really like this bit, so we decided to keep it in. And for season 2, episode 1, I'm expecting a big quote here for you.
Yeah.
From your kid.
Here it comes. I've got my own gloves. I've got to see what I did there.
No, yeah.
It's back to the Tenpin. Right, okay. And we're moving
Just
right
this
along.
bit's normally the bit we get a little bit inspirational, but
oh, no,
don't
here
worry
it
about
comes. Here it comes. You ready for
I'm
it?
joking, yeah.
Right, here we go. Here comes the quote, right? If you want to feel happy, do something for yourself. If you want to feel fulfilled, do something for someone else.
Yeah, like the only problem with the dad quotes at the moment is like, yeah, cool, man, it's inspirational. Like I've not got a lot else to say to it anymore.
If you want to feel happy, do something for yourself. Right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like they used to be kind of stupid because they were always a bit like, that doesn't make any sense. Whereas that's pretty clear.
So what you're saying is,
line.
don't do dad quotes that actually inspire me. Don't do quotes that like motivate me. Do quotes that like completely confuse me.
Yeah, it's a bit like I want to pick at it. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to make you feel stupid for saying that. Whereas that's like, yeah, no, that does make sense.
If you want to feel happy, do something for yourself. But if you want to feel fulfilled, do something for someone else.
I guess I do feel pretty happy most of the time then.
If there's any true word being said near the end of a podcast, it's you just saying, yep, I live for myself. Yeah?
I do feel fulfilled, obviously, doing this podcast, just letting you get out the house once in a while.
Maybe it should be, if you want to feel happy, do something for yourself. If you want to feel fulfilled, do something for someone else. Why don't you take someone Tenpin Bowling? Someone out there who's a little bit lonely, who's maybe got some gloves for Christmas and hasn't been able to use them yet in that Tenpin Bowling place at 2 a.m. on a Friday night. Why don't you go with them?
Or just take them for a lovely meal. Take them for a nice meal. Right, anyway. Thank you very much for listening to Like Father, Like Son. This is season 2, guys. It is happening. It is a thing. Please get in contact with us if you've got anything for random reviews. But as always, hit up our Facebook page, our Instagram, our Twitter. It's all LFLS podcast. You just search that and you'll find us. We've got... there's another thing we need to ask people to do as well. I know there's quite a lot of information here. They need to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That's now the big thing that everyone's being asked to do. We also are on Spotify as well, so please go find us on that. Share it with your friends. Have a look at us on Spotify. Go mental on Spotify.
I've got new gloves.
Don't get Tenpin Bowling gloves. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Like Father, Like Son podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and you'll be notified every time there's a new episode.